still rolling, right? Yes?
Never stop.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Never
Okay.
stop rolling.
Keep it up. All right. So I believe it was June. Yeah, it was June, as a matter of fact. My fiance, Kristen Helf, is the content manager and editor at OceanCity.com. She was doing a segment on Ocean City Oddities. She went there to write about Joe Kroart and Ocean Gallery, and I came with her, as I usually accompany her and take pictures and video. I got the very surface level story about him from Kristen, like, hey, this is who we're talking to. He sounds like a really nice guy. So I go there, bring my camera. I'm shooting on a T5i with a Lens Baby composer, and you will see these shots in the movie, because as Joe was talking, I was taking his pictures, and he kept talking about his philosophies, his history, his art.
I think, to tell you, this is really true now, Kristen. I think the way things happen in life, some things happen that are too much to be just a coincidence.
It excited me. I started rolling my camera. I initially only went there to take pictures, but I decided, hey, while I'm here, I'll just shoot a bunch of B-roll. I'll get some sound. I'll cut together like a 2-minute documentary.
People should be comfortable with art, and that's the whole message here, is that art should be fun. It's part of life.
A woman in the film community, she says, hey, my husband has been really close friends with Joe Kroart. I can't believe your movie was only 2 minutes. There's a whole story there. And, she was right. So the very next week, I went back to Ocean Gallery. I sent them a message, and I told them I was really interested in, making a movie about them, further than just like a 2-minute, Vimeo piece. So I started going there every week whenever I had downtime this summer.
How's it going?
Hey, what's up, William?
Not much.
Love the teaser.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
And just kept growing and growing, and I needed backup, so I got my affiliates from 47 ABC, Trevor Taylor and Colin Riley, to co-direct this film with me.
My name is Colin Riley. I was third camera who came on late, so I shot for a couple of days, I think it was. And I'm also an editor.
My name's Trevor Taylor. I'm a local vagrant. I wander the streets of Salisbury begging for change to fund my films. And for some reason, William Strang-Moya asked me to be a part of Joe Kroart's World Center, the feature film. Admittedly, I don't go to Ocean City too much. And so when I met BL that morning that we went there, the first thing I saw was the outside of the gallery, and immediately I knew that this was an interesting place, just judging from all the crap on the wall outside.
When I came into that place and met Joe and all the characters that work at that place and fill it, I was in love and enamored with it.
Excellent opportunity for an Instagram story. Of course.
It's like walking into a cave, man. You walk in and it's line to line with all kinds of stuff, and you have to dig around, and I wanted to really document that feeling of getting literally lost in a world of art, and I think we did a good job doing that. But that was what I set out to do every day. I really wanted to get that feeling of being just surrounded by pictures and drawings and walking into that world, his world.
Just like everyone else says, it's overwhelming.
And then I met Joe immediately before we went inside, and I shook his hand, and I already knew that he had a ton of stories to tell us just from looking at him.
We might have had like a basic goal, like, we need to get Joe to say this on camera today or something like that.
Every day was something like, what are we gonna get today? I don't know. It was pretty much just, we go in, we're gonna shoot some B-roll, really document the whole, all the art on the wall.
We're in the thick of the summer when we started filming that, when I came on with you guys. It's hot as hell, it's Maryland, it's humid. By the ocean was a little bit of a break, but we were never outside. We were always inside of Ocean Gallery for most of the time, just sweating.
The heat in that building, it gets to you.
Making of.
Yeah, the making of Ocean Gallery.
It's hot.
Where do I start? Who do I talk about first? Dave Schroeder.
One of my favorite characters of all time. He's he is just an old rocker, a metalhead, and his aesthetic about him is fantastic. He lives music, and he lives art. Literally every day, it's his job.
I'm done playing Batman or Robin or whoever I'm supposed to be.
He was behind the counter one day. I guess Joe was at lunch. I was like, okay, Dave, just be real with me. How do you think you're gonna die here?
That place is Dave's mausoleum. He's been there so long, he's gonna die there. So our favorite Dave line is,
Probably right in the middle of cutting the mat. Pass out.
Crook. And he's just a really nice guy with just fantastic stories. Great to talk to and hang out with.
well, Dave's one of them who has his corner, Nicole has her corner, Joe has his spot, and they all have these extremely intricate and unique personalities.
Oh, Joe Leonard.
He's sort of like a General Patton of the Ocean Gallery. Runs the ship with an iron fist. Not really. He's brilliant.
The very last thing I asked him for this documentary, I asked him what he saw in the future of Ocean Gallery. He didn't want to tell me.
The fantasy and spectacular parts of life, it's the challenge. It's the challenge of the future.
I think it will just probably go on the way it is.
He likes to build suspense. He loves getting people worked up. I mean, that's his entire business model.
Now we go. Now we're talking. Your twin brother was just here. Joe, to relax. Joe. Now look who we got. All right, this is really cool.
The Jim Mathias interview, just because of all the tangents that Jimmy went on.
We have a pact. Batman and I can't tell you about the Bat Cave or Robin, but I can tell you we were on a very secret mission.
And we only used like 15 seconds of everything that he said, but he's a character too.
They've all been there a really long time, which says something about the place. And they're all incredibly eccentric.
All the animations that I did were super fun to do, and I enjoyed playing around with that kind of abstract. I really like tapping into one of my personal heroes, Terry Gilliam, and trying to emulate his style and himself.
We had so much footage, so many pictures, so much audio. I didn't know where to start. That was incredibly frustrating, but that was probably more of a learning process for me than the filming and being there at on location, because it was just up to me. We each took a section of the movie and we each edited it ourselves, with initially very little input from each other. You know, it's just kind of go on your own sort of thing.
I think the emotions I was trying to convey in my act, I wanted to get people excited. I want to capture the mystique. I mean, there's a lot of focus on, Joe's excitement. He comes to town, this bright-eyed kid with these, his dreams aren't set in stone yet, but he has a rough idea hey, I want to sell my paintings. And then it sort of grows and grows, then things sort of fall into place. Next thing you know, the P.T. Barnum of fine art pretty much rises to prominence right here in Ocean City. And I wanted to capture that excitement, capture that anticipation. Especially with the beginning, we have a bunch of local press representatives offering sound bites on, their opinions of Joe, their, what they understand Ocean Gallery to be, and they all really capture it.
If you like it, good for you. Oh, he's weird. Joe? He's out of his mind.
What were you trying to invoke?
The act my act itself, first was big, show tune, loud, crashing, in your face, exciting, because that's what I wanted to show with his art cars, which were a huge part of Joe's life in Ocean Gallery and his marketing.
I said to my dad, that thing looks like a Batmobile. You ought to spray paint it black. Put some Batman logos on the side of it. Well, the next day when I got to work, he looked at me and said, "You know what? You're right."
For the most part, just the newness of it all to me. I'm new to filming, new to editing, new to doing audio design, that sort of thing. Just experiencing the process of making a movie was my favorite part, just being involved in something like that.
There's nothing made up on this stuff. This is all the real stuff is so wild, you don't have to exaggerate anything. It's just, just incredible.
I was the Act 3 guy, and what I was trying to portray in the final act is Ocean Gallery. It's a landmark, and it's going to continue to live on. And Act 3 was really about the future, and how it's become, like BL said, what did you say? Deified. It's become deified. And that's really what Act 3 was about. I wanted to portray the future of Ocean Gallery and where it's going to go.
Joe is someone who exceeds my expectations at every turn. He's something that I think one can definitely aspire to as not only an artist, but someone who provides a platform for artists. He's definitely one of my personal heroes at this point, I think.
He's not just doing this to sell paintings. Like he's hoping to spread the way that he lives and views life.
Just his outlook on life and his outlook on art in general, it really spoke to me. And he's just a positive guy, and he's a people person, and it really meant a lot.
He did it for people. He just wanted to see people smile and make them laugh. And
oh no, it's been a wild time making this movie. I hope people like it. It's definitely probably the most unique story to come out of Maryland.
But we also got to be a part of people's lives, and very strange people that I love. And we got to be a part of a town's history. That's a very historical place in Ocean City, and we're a part of that now, and that's pretty fascinating.
It is really cold. I don't know, was it as cold as this in the chair? It is.